Hi West Babylon and happy ThursD.I.Y. On this ThursD.I.Y. we will be making a seashell planter. So for this project you'll need a terracotta pot, a succulent, about 40 little clamshells, and a hot glue gun. So to start, what we're going to do is take our pot and we're going to turn it upside down. So when I was doing this project I realized it's better if we alternate the direction in which the shells lay on the pot. In addition, you can go rogue if you want, and you could do some different things. You can just do around the edge. You can do just a little stripe. However you want to put the shells on, it's up to you. If you want to paint prior to doing this, paint your whole pot a different color, or maybe you want to cover the whole thing in sand first. Really, this is up to you, and this is your creative license to do whatever you want. However, I'm going to show you how I do it. So what I start off with is taking each shell, and I'm just putting glue right where the shell would be connected, so where it would have been connected when it was alive. Okay, and I'm going to start by putting each one just under the rim, so the very top will be just hitting this lip here. Okay, and we're going to do that around the entire pot. So you can glue it right on, or you can just place it there. So you can also do it this way, and then you can just gently attach your shell. Now be careful. I will say it's very easy to burn yourself, and that's why I have a band-aid on, because when I was doing the demo for this, I forgot that my finger actually has pain receptors and I burnt myself. So be really, really, really careful with your hot glue gun. All right, so we're just going to continue to go around the bottom. You don't need that much hot glue, just enough to attach each shell. I like to vary the sizes. So this one's a little larger, so I'm going to go with one that's just a little smaller now. And depending how they fit, sometimes they'll overlap just a tiny, tiny bit. I think I'm going to need a little more glue. And we're just going to keep going around, being mindful of our fingers. If you feel like you don't have enough glue, that's completely fine. You can always add a tiny little bit more. So I'm continuing in the same direction. I'm facing them all down. I'm continuing to vary my size of my shells as well. Okay, and it looks like we have room for one more. Okay, so now we have a whole line of shells facing downward. So what I'm going to do is now alternate them. I find that if we have them all facing now the bottom of the pot, that it actually lays on the pot just a little bit better, a little bit more round shaped. They just hug the pot in a better way. So now we're going to alternate our direction. So I'm going to put my glue here or directly on my pot, whatever I'm more comfortable with. And I'm just going to place my shell between the two other shells. And now because it's going a different way, we might need a little glue up at the top. So I'm just placing enough to adhere it to the pot. And we're going to continue with that. Put a little glue here. Okay. And this one we need a bit of a smaller shell. Okay. And I'm just going to put a little bit at the top again. And you don't want it to be a gluey mess, so you really want to use your glue as sparingly as you can. So I'm putting glue at the very base of my shell. Let me put this guy in here. And I am overlapping them the slightest bit. So actually, okay, so here we have a problem. This one seems like it might be a little too big. So I'm going to pull it off. It's absolutely fine. I'm going to see if I can find one that's just a little smaller. It's kind of like a jigsaw puzzle, seeing which shells fit next to the others the best. Alright, so already I'm liking this one a little bit better. It's still overlapping a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. And we're going to continue on. So now, for time's sake, I'm not going to continue around the entire line of shells, but I'm going to show you that if you want to continue, you could just leave your pot where it just has this little row of shells here. You could add some ribbon, some juke material, that any type of cording really. It's however you want to jazz it up. So if we wanted to add a third line and a fourth line to completely cover the base, we would continue to do the same thing we've been doing. And now I'm going to continue by actually keeping them facing the same way. I'm not going to alternate again. And I'm just fitting it between the V that's naturally created by the two shells next to each other. And I just continue around the entire pot. And then now we don't want to go too far down, so I try to save the smaller shells for this bottom row here. And you could finish it by putting just one more. Sometimes you do have to hold it in place for just a moment. And there you have it. So you would do this for the entire pot until it was covered, and you would end up with an effect like this. Now, each of your kits came with a succulent. My suggestion is you can take the brown bag that you were given the kit in, and I would put some scrap paper of some sort, then maybe cut a circle of your construction paper, and then you could place your succulent right in. If you want to get potting soil or maybe fake soil, you could also put your succulent there, but it definitely looks great when it's all put together. I also want to suggest, if you want to do a different design, you can actually make little flowers with your shells too. And you can do those around the entire pot. It's really however you see fit to decorate. Have a great time. Get beachy with it. And thank you again for crafting with us. Happy ThursD.I.Y. Keep an eye on our newsletter, see what upcoming crafts we have. And it's been a pleasure spending this Thursday with you. Take care.